What's going on, guys? This is Dan here with an update on the Camaro. And I guess you could say this is a so you want Camaro Corvette gauges aside your Camaro update too. Um, so those of you that's following on Facebook, I had to get a new BCM for the car, and I'll tell you what I did here. So what had happened was I misread the schematics for the power for the remote control door lock receiver, which gives you the ability to use push to start, and the pinout for the old BCM. So what I did was I pretty much overloaded. There's a run and crank relay on the BCM. What I did was I accidentally gave it power at all times onto another relay that's embedded into the board that you won't be able to see unless you take the BCM apart, and it overloaded that relay and made it where it's stuck always on. And the issue I was having is when I would turn the car on with the old BCM, it would always be on. Things were getting power that they weren't supposed to be getting power, and just a big mess. So I ended up having to get a new BCM. I'm probably going to take the old BCM and take it to my buddy that does electronics, and he probably can solder me on a new relay if that's all it needs. That way I'll have a spare. So, anyways, I started doing some fabrication on the engine itself. So this is my APS style twin turbo build. These are Mitsubishi TD05s. Obviously, I'm not going to be running this compressor. I'm going to upgrade to a 20G with a billet wheel. The turbine's going to stay the same. So what my plan here is that this right here is your wastegate. I took the flapper out. This right here is your exhaust. I want to run it like how the APSs are, where the wastegates are way down here. This is my 4L80E. And I mean, I just got this kind of tacked. I went a little crazy. I still have a pretty good gap through here at the fix. I'm not going to do that because right now I'm getting ready to put the engine back inside of the car and see what kind of clearances I have for this right here. I'm going to focus on the hot side because that's going to be where a lot of the constraints are going to be at. Sorry, I can't speak. I know my turbo is a little bit at an angle. The other side is even more at an angle. I'm hoping that doesn't really screw with oil consumption. I don't think it will, but I don't know. I've never done this before, so it's just tack welded on the other side. So I mean, if I have to kind of cut it and tilt it up or whatever, I can do that. So yeah, this is getting a 20G. This is gonna get ported. I'm gonna run a 9-blade turbine. This whole thing here is gonna get all hogged out, so that way there's not gonna be any issues with boost creep. And the purpose of this motor is not gonna be to make 1,000 horsepower. It's just gonna be, I want a really low speed spool because I plan on daily driving this car. So that's why I went with this setup. I want AC, I want to get in the car, and this torque converter is a 24240 GM unit. From what I understand, this is a high stall. So to me, I guess high stall is 2500. So if somebody in the comments can check that, confirm that, that would be great. Because I don't know anything about torque converters. I mean, I know what the stall is and everything. I just don't know what the GM coding is between high stall and low stall, I guess. I'll take you over here to the other side. And this one here is kind of really at an angle a little bit. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I may end up going tubular manifolds. I don't know. I got to play with it a little bit, see what's what. This doesn't really have a gap back here. It just has a gap like right here. I could probably cut this off here. Get a piece of pipe, cut it off way up here. Piece of pipe, tuck this up into there some. Play with it a little bit. This was another turbo that I had recently purchased. It still has the flapper that's about to go bye-bye. This turbine housing is shot. There's a crack all the way around there. And there's a crack up here in the housing. And I mean, this is just for mock-up purposes. Those of you that's been following the channel, you guys know I've been talking about doing a twin turbo build for a long time now. And this is about as far as I've gotten with it, so a little excited. Don't mind my shitty welds. My welder is a complete piece of shit. They're just there just to kind of hold things in place. Probably gonna grind some down and, you know, fix it and go from there. All in all, though, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I've never done anything like this before, so this is my first turbo build. And the reason these are angled is because I know on the APS kits they had an issue with, they had a hose clamp or a silicone inlet, especially on the passenger side, where it would get squeezed kind of like this, and under full throttle pulls it would suck itself shut. And I really don't want to do that, so if I could avoid it at all costs, I will. Plan on running a stock K member here. I'm going to try to come through here, up, out, and out this way with the charge pipes. I haven't really made up my mind on intercooling. I am kind of hoping that somebody with an APS kit will be able to chime in and let me know, because I've heard horror stories about the APS intercoolers making the car overheat. I really don't want to do that. I mean, like I said, I drive this car. That's the car it's going into. I drive this car every day, for the most part. And, or I can't say every day. I drive it enough to where I'm not really wanting to sacrifice running an ice tank. But if I have to, or if it's a better option, then I will. Because then I can just run a heat exchanger long ways between the inlet and the bumper support here. So the air kind of goes up. It goes through the heat exchanger before it hits the radiator. But that's just me. I already have an LT1 radiator in my car, because obviously my car has an LT1 inside of it now. And it came out of this thing, so I got that in there because I just wanted to drive my car. And yeah, got a torque head system for it, and so I don't have the out-spark issues. And honestly, between the LT1 and the LS, I haven't really noticed much of a difference. But I mean, Even when I had my old black Camaro, I didn't really. I raced it, but I didn't really take it to a track a whole lot. So, yeah, that's what I got here. So right now I'm getting ready to put this body back on top of this engine and see what my clearances look like. Hopefully everything will be okay. If not, well then we just trim the welds and, do some work and try again. I don't know, this is weird. I've heard horror stories about people hooking up the coolant lines to their turbos and them seeping coolant into the oil. I'm torn between that because it sounds like a good idea. It'd really keep this area cool. And this is going to get heat shielded the living hell out of. It's going to get that perforated aluminum heat shield here, back here. This is going to get like a turbo blanket. I do plan on running an improved racing thermostatic oil cooler block right down here where the pan is. So that way my oil is at a constant temperature. I feel like the coolant lines would complement the oil cooler, but I don't know. I've heard so many people saying, oh, the APS turbos suck and, they leak, and I don't know if I want to do that or not. So anyways, back to the Corvette stuff. All the wiring works for now. Right now, I guess the plan is to set the engine, see where it is, and I have enough wiring stuff done to where I kind of can gauge what goes where. This body is going to be going to the scrapyard soon. Tired of looking at it. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to give you an update. I know this is kind of a long update, but let you guys know what's going on. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you, guys.